guys, it's Nancy here, and I'm back with a process video, but it's going to be up on the new Hey Little Magpie Facebook page today. And so I am doing a challenge, and my challenge is to use some Christmas stash. As you'll know, I'm using some Christmas bits and pieces for my Scottish album, but this I'm going to just do a layout for my 2015 album. So in here I have the remnants of a Hey Little Magpie Christmas grab bag. And these are all Christmassy papers. So I'm going to use these to create a non-Christmas layout. As you can see, there's some great papers. I mean, this is an old Jelly Bean Soup one, but these sides are fabulous. So yes, that is my task that I'm setting myself, is to use these Christmas papers to make a non-Christmas layout. So I think this is going to be fun. I think it's going to be a challenge. But yes, let's see what we can do, and we'll have on that one as well. So alright guys, that is it. Do go and check out the new Facebook page. I will put a link down below in the little description-y bar. And yes, hopefully I can create a layout. So yeah, looking forward to this challenge. Alright then guys, see you all in the process video.
Hi guys, right, so when I was doing my flick through the papers, I pulled out this one, which is a bunting sort of design, and it is from an old Dear Lizzie collection, and actually one of the little green banners has a snowflake on, but other than that, there's nothing really Christmassy about it, and I'm using the red background there to, which I've gutted out to mount my layout. So yeah, there's only that really tiny detail, and in the final image you can see some of the like snowflakes if you really look and you know what you're looking for. If not, you can't really see it. So I'm going to use that for one of my background. I'm using that Jelly Bean Soup, which is like an aqua sort of snow print, sort of snowfall, but it's not snowflake, so it just kind of looks a bit like a polka dot background. This is another Dear Lizzie piece that I'm using. This has the advent numbers on the background, and that is something I would say about, you know, the Christmas grab bag. A lot of it you can use the B side of, yeah, absolutely no problem. So that worked well. So I just mounted up my photo, and this is just a funny little silly little photo of me, but it's to scrap my new hairstyle because I went blonde for a while, and I'm now back to in my bright colours. I'm feeling more like myself. So there was a Simple Stories cut apart sheet in here, which had some of the blackboard print. So I did think about using this ampersand, and I do go with that for quite a while, and then end up not going with that. This is that Bella Boulevard sheet that I pulled while doing the sort of flick through, and this has lots of different strips, and some of them are hearts and arrows and stars, which are not Christmassy. So again, it's absolutely perfect, and this is where, if you're looking at it, you know, trying to find the non-Christmassy elements, you're going to see this other stuff. So I'm just cutting that paper down straight off into the different bits and starting to build up some really simple layers. As I said, I really do like, you know, how this layout ends up, but it was a bit of a challenge getting there. And of course, with the grab bag, it's all paper, and I do struggle using just paper to create that, so I do end up pulling out my big box of Christmas stash. I keep all my Christmas stuff in a pizza box, you know, one of the boxes that my delivery comes in from Hey Little Magpie, and yeah, I keep everything in there, so I do end up pulling out some of my Christmas embellishments and stuff as well, which helps to finish off the layout. So I'm just cutting up some of these cut apart cards. Again, some of these bits will work, I said, again, because you've got this sort of black chalkboard effect, so that's going to just bring in that. And I'm going to end up inking everything with black. I then pull out this cut apart card, which has a snowflake on with a heart in the middle. I've already cut that little heart off a one of the Simple Stories cards, so I decided to cut it down, and punching this out turns that heart into not a snowflake. But I decided it's too big, so I then cut it down again so I can use one of my smaller punches and then I create a small heart with it. Just looks like a heart with some rays coming out of it. So just by cutting it down, you kind of lose the snowflake, but you keep the middle bit. So that was quite cool, and I'm quite happy that I managed to make an embellishment out of one of those cut apart cards. So that's definitely, again, something to look for. I ended up using, some traditional sort of Christmas colours like the green and the reds, but I went for more of a pinky tone red than pure red, but this red arrow is on there. But I think that's one thing so many of the new Christmas collections, like the Sugar Plum, one which is My Mind's Eye, which is now in a shop, that is kind of all like pinks and teals. So, there is different options out there. I personally love the reds and the greens because, I don't know, it's just proper Christmas to me. So I do have lots of reds and greens in my stash. So I'm just kind of roughly planning out where everything is going to go and sort of cut up those cards, cut up that the strips on there, and kind of working out where I'm going to go. And at the moment I'm placing a little cluster down there at the bottom. I end up not going with that. I end up swapping it out when I swap that ampersand out, but I do end up using some of those layers. So I'm just kind of putting away some of those papers because I kind of think I've got everything I possibly can. Decide to bring a little bit more pink in just by sort of double mounting that picture. And again, that's another one of the Dear Lizzie Christmas papers, which were in the grab bag. I can never remember Dear Lizzie even doing a Christmas collection, so. But anyway, I do like these papers, and some of these ones in a grab bag have got like the sort of glossy texture to them, so they're pretty cool. So I'm just having one final flick through, seeing if any of these are going to work. And there's some beautiful ones in there, and I kind of saw some that I want to make some other layouts on, which aren't Christmassy with. So I've inked my edges on everything, and I'm going to add some mist. I'm adding my favourite mist, which is a old Route 66 Tattered Angels one, which I love. I'm then going to be using some of the Dilutions Margarita Green, and that's just going to, again, just add a little bit of texture to the background. So I'm going to stick my layer down and then just add a little bit more misting over the top. And as I said, I really like that banner piece. I think it was a bit too much as a whole sheet, but I do like it as this little background. So now I'm just going to start plonking everything down, and just going for it. I know, especially when you're kind of using, different makes of and different manufacturers. I find if you do ink the edges, it just kind of helps tie everything in together as well. And you're kind of covering up lots of little bits and pieces. And said in the end, you can probably end up seeing about 2 or 3 of the little banner pieces with snowflakes on. So but I really like that. So this is one of the pockets that I pulled out. It's a Simple Stories pocket. It was in my stash, and I ended up pulling it out when I was trying to find some embellishments. And I'm going to end up then slipping some little journaling cards in there as well. So I'm just playing about here if I want to put it on a jaunty angle or not. I decided not to go with the jaunty angle because I tried to keep everything kind of straightish on here. So I'm going to use that to build that cluster up, but then also that pocket is going to contain my journaling as well. So just using those strips of paper, I'm going to start to build up this bottom cluster, and I'm going to have it overlapping the photo a little bit. And as I said, just building up these layers. And I love that arrow piece, so it's not Christmassy at all. So just building up, I'm going to use that little heart snowflake that I punched out there. And again, all these bits, as I said, were on those Christmas papers, but as I said, there's only that one paper that actually has a snowflake on. So I'm just going to be tucking little bits of this just to help that layer pop a bit. And as I said, I did think I needed to find something else, so I went through. This is from a Chamel collection, and this is a label that I'm cutting out currently, and that is a teal label, and that's just going to help to add in a layer. I am just using my hole punch to punch a hole in there, so that ends up looking like a proper tag. And again, inking around the edges just to help everything blend in together. And so I'm just trying to use as many of these little scraps and bits I cut up in the end, because otherwise, they'll just end up lying around in my stash, as these things do. So I'm kind of feeling like I've got quite a happy balance how everything's looking. In my Christmas stash, I pull out this very old My Mind's Eye twine, and there's one that is a red and teal and white, and that's going to go with the colours of the layout. So I just pop that out to put through my tag. I don't always put twine through my tags, but decided to on this occasion. This is some very old Christmas brads, and one of the brads had a little scallop circle behind it, or pink circle actually, and I end up just pulling it out just to add a circle element up there to the top, because I've got quite a lot of other circles in the other cluster. I didn't end up putting any of the brads on the end. I did think I was going to, but I didn't. So again, that just brings a circular element up to the top there. So I'm happy with how that looks, just starting to glue these little bits and pieces down before I forget. And these are some freckled fawn Christmas pieces that again that were just hanging around, and there was a couple of arrows in that stash, so I do just pull those out and add an arrow to the top and bottom pointing at the photo. I did contemplate adding our hearts and different things, but decided not to, and I really do like those, so I think I may have to make sure I use them in my December daily this year. So I'm pretty happy with how my basic cluster is now. Keep playing about if I'm going to add any more of these enamel hearts and stuff, but decide against it. I'm going to use these, which are very old Jelly Bean Sprouts, little journaling tags, little journaling cards, and I just put a couple of those into that little pocket there so I can do my journaling later. This is an old American Crafts sticker sheet, Christmas one. Apologise, you can see my crazy hair. And I'm going to be using this just to pop the date on there, and I'm also going to end up using that for my title as well. So just looking around, found a few little bits on my desk and just tucking those in. So that's just some more of that star stripe piece. And just going back with my mist just to help blend everything together. I'm getting a tiny little bit on the photo, as I normally do. So I'm happy with how that's looking. And then I'm going in adding some of that margarita green as well. So now, not much more to do other than add a title. I pull out these are some Christmas thickers, glittery red. These ones actually did come with a Christmas set. I'm not just saying they're Christmassy because they're red and glittery. Oh yeah, I found this, which is a Chamel tag which says Happy Holidays. So I do end up cutting that down so I can put happy on here, and then I put the holidays away because I think I can use that in one of my travel albums, because of course in the UK we mainly call it holiday rather than vacation. So I thought, yes, I can use the other part of that somewhere. So now I'm going to just add my title, and I'm going to put that on the bottom, and I'm going to use, say, these glittery foam thickers, and I'm just going to be placing my title down here on the bottom. As I said, I pulled off some of these asterisks that were on the glittery sheet just to add another little bit of spangle and help that match in. I do just use my wet glue to stick down those little letter tiles because they are slightly older, a couple of years old, so I just want to just make sure they stick down well. And I'm going to play about a little bit here when I place this bit of the title, but I end up just sticking it in a line because the title just reads a little bit better, and the title is Back to Being Me Again. Instead, I'm just going to journal about my hair and how my hair is a very emotive subject for me, and how I feel better now I have my bright hair again. I have half orange, half red. So, and also this is a picture of me in one of my new skull dresses, which I love, and anyone who knows me knows I love skulls. So I could have used a Halloween stash for this, but that's a little bit predictable because everyone knows I love Halloween. So I'm just going to finish up by mounting this layout on that red Dear Lizzie paper and call it a day. So I hope you've enjoyed this challenge. Do go over and check out the Facebook page. I'll put a link down below, and there's challenges and there's magpie points up for offer, so do go and check it out. Here's a few close-up pictures, and I'll speak to you all again very, very soon. Bye.